So today I'm just going to be playing around in Photoshop and Illustrator. I don't have anything specific in mind that I'm going to create, so I'm just going to be winging it, and I'm going to bring you guys along as I am doing it. If you follow me on Instagram, or if you go to my website, look at thesunnyside.com, you'll see that I make graphics as well as do photography, and so it's one of those things that I just do. And today I'm just going to make something. I have a few photos that I'm going to use or pull from, and I'm going to use Illustrator, like I said, in Photoshop. And I'm going to be using some basic tools. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, just some basic tools that can be helpful in anything that you're making, such as cropping and taking out backgrounds and things like that and adding shapes. So it's going to be super, super, super simple. Hopefully it can be helpful to you. Maybe you don't want to make anything like this, but maybe you want to make a flyer or something. Hopefully this is helpful just to play around with the pictures. You will need Illustrator and Photoshop for this. So we have Photoshop up, and I'm just going to drag the picture that I want to choose. I took some from my phone that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to drag it. Boom. There it is. All right, we got that up. Let's exit out of this. All right, so I think what I want to do is I'm going to take this background out. I just want my leg and my shoe in it. So maybe let's do like a Nike ad or something. Let's see. So I'm going to go to my crop tool, eraser tool. So there's 3 different modes of this. So you have the eraser tool, and it just kind of erases like so, and you can change that size right here. This can be useful when you have really rough edges that you want to erase without taking part of the object that you want to keep. And I'll show you a bit of that because I am sure I'm going to need to use that. And then you have the background eraser tool. It's literally the same thing. Also, let me preface this by saying I am not a Photoshop wizard. I'm not a Illustrator wizard. Both of these apps are super complex, so it takes a lot of time and energy to be able to become a wizard and a master. So I don't completely know everything, but I do know a few things. So bear with me. So yeah. All right, so I showed you that second crop tool. Now, I'm going to show you the magic eraser tool. This tool helps to take away similar chunks. So if you point this in this area right here with this blue, it's going to take away things that it can pick up that's blue, like so. So now you saw that there were some areas that were still blue. You can go and change the hardness. Now, when you change the hardness, it is going to be more harsh and more specific and exact to what it wants to take away. So that may bleed over into your object. So you may want to be careful with that. So the lower the number is, the softer it is. So I'm going to take it up just a little bit just to show you. It is at 20 right now. I'm going to take it up to, let's say, 50. Let's go drastic. So I'm going to click that now. Now you see it took away a little more. Let's try 100. Yeah, see, like now it took away some of my shoe. I do not want that. It looks kind of cool though, a little bit. So I'm going to go back down. Let's say, actually, we don't really need this right now. So let's just we're going to go up here because this is going to take away a larger chunk for us. So I'm going to go back to the first eraser tool option, and I'm going to go up super high because we want to erase a ton. We want to erase a ton. So you can also zoom in, but bam, there it is. And I'm going to bring that down a little bit as I get closer to the shoe. And like I said, you can zoom in. I'm going to make this a little bigger. So now, so when you see this difference, so this part is white, which means when you that's just the background. You change the background to white. I didn't want to change the background to white. I want the background to be transparent. So when you see these lines like this, that means that it is transparent. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, guys. This is just the way that I know how. If you have a better way, please let me know. And also, a lot of this stuff I learned from either Eric, but much of it I learned from YouTube. So YouTube is also helpful, hence this video on YouTube. So I'm going to play around with the magic eraser tool just because I want to see how detailed it'll get me. And I want to remember to bring this tolerance down because that's pretty high. So I'm going to try 40, see what that does. Oh, that's a little too harsh. All right, 20. Let's see what 20 gets us. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm gonna leave that there. And then I'm for sure gonna go back in and just make sure those edges are cool. All right, I think we are finished. So I'm gonna show you what this is gonna look like once I export it. So I'm gonna go to File, Export As, and I'm gonna title this. Let's see. I'm gonna title it Just Do It. All right, and it's taking a minute to load. So remember when I was talking about the transparency image, right? So when you make it a PNG, it's automatically transparent. And you'll see that right here, it says transparent. And when you do like JPEG, it's not gonna be transparent. So this background is gonna be white. We don't want that background white, so we're gonna make it transparent. Make sure we got that. Okay, export, just do it. Maybe we want that on the desktop. All right, so now we're done with Photoshop. Let's go ahead and open up Illustrator, File, New. Illustrator uses pixels. It's just sizing. They go by pixels. So if it helps you, they do have inches here. You can use inches, centimeters, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm gonna use pixels. And so for instance, an Instagram story would be 1920 by 1080. So that's right here. So let's just start with that just to show you what that looks like. There we go. So that's an Instagram story. Let's get our shoot in here first. So we're gonna go to desktop, and there's our buddy right there. So we got our shoe in here. And guys, look at what we did. Look at how cool this is. So it's not as perfect as you can see, but it looks really good to me. So I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. So we're just gonna make that smaller. Actually, let's just crop this. There we go. Sometimes it'll crop for you, kind of based on where it sees the object. And depending on what you're looking for, that's gonna work for you. If not, just arrange it to however you need to. All right, so what are we making? I think let's turn it around. All right, let's add a background. So I'm gonna go over to my ellipse tool. It's really a shape tool. It's on the ellipse tool right now. So we're gonna click rectangle tool, and we're just gonna shape that. I'm holding down my right click, and I'm just shaping that to my artboard. And over here, you can even get more exact. So we're gonna do the exact artboard dimensions. We're gonna do 1080 pixels by 1920 pixels. That just makes sure it's the perfect amount of space for us. And we're gonna adjust it as needed. And it looks like it needs to be brought over a little more. Great, cool. So I'm gonna right click, sorry. There you go. I'm gonna click arrange, send to back, because I want that background at the far back. So as you can see, if I move over, it's gonna highlight the object that's in front. So if this was in front, it'd highlight this, but it's not in front. So that's perfect, that's where we want it. And I feel like we want to make a color background. Let's make a color background. And of course yellow, because yellow is my fave. Or blue looks kind of cool. You can pull from this, or if you have a color palette, feel free to add that in here. Yeah, I kind of like this one. Let's just do this one. Yeah, let's rock with this one. This one's pretty cool. And I kind of want to add some grunge. So I'm going to go to one of my other documents that I have here. And I downloaded these grunge effects offline. You can make them. Maybe I'll make a tutorial of how to make them. I just really like the way these looked. And so I chose to download these specific ones. And so let's use them. I'm going to copy that, Command C. I'm going to go back over here to my main document, and I'm going to paste that. Perfect. And I'm just going to enlarge that. All right, so I have it enlarged. I'm just gonna make sure it is behind the shoe. So I'm gonna do right click, arrange, and send backward. I'm not gonna send it to the back because we don't want it in the back. We want it just behind the shoe. There it is, boom. It's behind the shoe. So now you can change that color. So you can pull from anything you see, or you can have, like I said, your own palette. I'm going to play around with it, see what the red looks like. Let's just do the white. But it is a little bit harsh, so I'm just going to change the opacity to it. Over on the right side, you'll see opacity, and I'm just going to bring that down. Right now it's at 100%, so I want it to be a little more transparent and see-through, so I'm going to bring that down and play around with that, and I think around 30 is good. Bam. I think we're going to add some text. Let's make this an ad, I guess, per se, a Nike ad. So just do it. I'm going to go over to the right and click my font. Now I'm going to change the stroke of it. So you have the stroke and the feel on the left side, and as you can see, it's marked. It has a red line through it, which means that it is off. We want to make sure that's on. You don't have to have it on, but I'm going to have it on. So I'm just going to click that panel to turn it on, and I'm going to go over to the right side where you can adjust the feel and stroke. And as you can see, if you want to change the color of the fill, you can. If you want to change the color of the stroke to, let's say, green, you can do that. And it'll just be outlined green. And let's actually turn the fill off. And I actually like that, so let's use that. We're going to make it bigger. And let's put it behind the shoe. And we're going to go to Arrange, right-click Arrange, and bring the shoe to the front. And we're going to bring that Just Do It lettering up a little bit, just so it's a little more visible. And let's copy and paste. Let's add some more color. So we're going to copy and paste, Command C, Command V, and we're going to make another word with the same exact thing. We're just going to add color to it. So let's play around with the color. And I'm using the eyedropper tool. The eyedropper tool lets you pull from something. It lets you pull color from anything that you see. So I'm just playing around with the colors in the shoe. And I think we're just going to go with that. That green looks a little weird, so let's try a different color. Let's do red, maybe. Perfect. And we're going to bring that back over. Be careful not to change the size because we want it to stay the same. And we're going to send that backwards twice. Now, we don't want it in the far, far back because we want to still see it. But instead, we want it behind two objects, the Just Do It outline, and we also want it behind the shoe. So we're going to send a right-click Arrange, send backward once, right-click Arrange, send backward twice. So we're going to do that 2 times, and boom, there you go. And so now we're just going to use the pen tool. Let's create some shapes. Let's see what we come up with. This is super abstract, so honestly, just play around with it until you find something. And I think this works. And I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to, I'm going to select it first and then use the eyedropper tool to pull the color from the shoe. And I think this yellow looks cool. So we're going to put that on our graphic and just find a good spot for it to where it looks best for you. It's eye-catching. And we're going to, once again, right-click Arrange and send backward. And we just want it behind the shoe this time because it's not in the way of anything else. So we're just going to get it behind the shoe. And let's create another one. And let's choose a different color. So eyedropper tool. And I really like that little green, that mint green kind of sort of. So let's select it and then eyedropper tool. So let's find a good spot for this baby. And we're going to just play around with it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, or just do whatever you feel, honestly, or whatever looks good to your eye. And so that looks okay. So let's just send it backwards. I think I'm satisfied. Maybe, let's see. I think I'm going to make this shoe smaller, actually. There we go. That looks a little better. I kind of like this better. And we're going to play around with the shapes again just to make them look a little more cohesive. If you hold Shift down, it'll let you select multiple and bring multiple items or adjust multiple items. So that's what I just did just here. And I think we are done. So I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, let's delete this artwork because we didn't even use it. Thank you guys so much for taking time to check out this video. And I hope that you learned something valuable. I hope that you can use it. If you have any questions or any clarity, comment below. I'd love to answer those questions. Also, comment below some things you want to see that I might be able to help you with. I really enjoy doing this, so let me know. I'd be happy to. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.